Hi, this is me trying to do videos at night. Okay, your next assignment is to do revisions on your op-ed assignment. Um, and remember that we need to do the revisions assignment. There are two goals in revisions for my class. One of the goals is to make your paper better so that your final draft will have a good grade. So yes, you do need to mark any convention errors that you find. However, convention errors are only one type of revision that you should be knowing how to make. And so the other part of the revision work that you need to do, and the part that you get the grade for, is marking these 6 types of errors. Or not errors necessarily, but 6 types of changes. Not all revisions have to do with errors. They might have to do with just adding something or even taking something away. So you'll notice that there are 6 possible things and it's 5-point assignment. So if you find all 6 of these kinds of errors, then you will get 6 points out of 5. That's a bonus point. If you can only find 5 of them, that's okay. You'll still get your 5 points. So that's a good thing, right? You can have an opportunity for a bonus point pretty soon in the quarter. Okay, so let's go over these different types of errors and what I want you to make changes on. Number 1 is ideas. It says add support for some opinion you gave, or add details or examples and so forth. Up there in the corner, I wrote, more than half of my students forget this every time. So that is a detail, or maybe like a statistic, an informal statistic, albeit, that I'm adding. So I'm putting a little number 1 next to that revision, showing that it is an idea type of revision. Okay, so you should do at least one idea type of revision on your paper. Remember also that when you start, you're probably hearing all kinds of stuff because there's teenage boys on my back porch playing. But anyway, you should be starting with your rough draft. And you can make revisions digitally. It's not easy. When I'm editing, I would much rather have it physically in front of me because I don't have to think about, okay, I need to change the color of my font and my thing, and I need to put a little number here, and I need to do it between the lines, and I have to skip anyway. It's just a little bit fussy to do it digitally. If that's the only way you can do it, then do it that way. But I need to see the changes on your rough draft. So the product you need to have for your revisions assignment is your rough draft with all of the changes on it. Like, let's say this is your rough draft, the blue part. And the red part would be your changes on your paper. And I need to see that. It doesn't have to be in red or anything, but it does need to be pretty obvious what it is. So on the first one, like I said, I added a statistic and I put a number 1 by it because it's an idea kind of revision. Number 2, organization. Make sure you have all parts put in paragraph breaks. That little symbol means paragraph. You can use that symbol to put in a paragraph break to remind yourself that right there you need to start a new paragraph. You can draw a line, okay? Whatever makes it obvious to you when you go back that it needs to be a paragraph break. And you can put a little number 2 next to that change showing that it's an organization change. These are the parts: opening paragraph, middle body paragraphs, ending and closure, okay? Or you could change the order of something. If everything's okay on that, you could change the order of 2 words, 2 sentences, okay? Then on number 3, voice. Replace any informal language because this is actually supposed to be formal writing. Unnecessary abbreviations like BFF for best friend kind of thing. Or numerals that should be written out. Anything under 13, in my opinion, should be written in letters and not in numbers. So I have 2 reasons, TWO reasons, not the number 2 reasons. Make sure that what you're saying works in English. So one of the things that that I've noticed over the years is sensible in English means that it's logical and it makes sense. It doesn't mean the same thing as sensitive. Sensitive means that you can understand somebody's feelings, you have empathy and stuff like that. So the word might be grammatically correct, but make sure that it works in English. Okay, so that's part of voice. Number 4, word choice. Replace linking verb with action verb. And general or abstract language with specific or concrete language. So I have an example here. The crowd was big, okay? And then I wrote, hundreds of people gathered at the whatever. And so I have the linking verb here, was, replaced by an action verb, gathered here. I have, instead of a crowd, I had hundreds of people. A little bit more visual there. Instead of people, then, I decided to put protesters because that makes it really clear what kind of crowd we're talking about. It could have been hundreds of fans or hundreds of hungry people. So as long as you can make things more specific or more mentally interesting or picturesque or something, then that's what we're doing on number 4 for word choice. So I put a little number 4 next to protesters because I used a more specific word. On number 5, sentence fluency. Break up super long or run-on sentences into 2 or more sentences. Fix fragments. The most common kind of fragment that you have is, in your writing, most of you, is when you have a compound sentence and the second part lacks a subject. Like, we went to the beach and was fun. That second part of that sentence needs a subject. Because if it were a compound predicate, then what you're saying is we went to the beach and we was fun. But that's not what you're trying to say. You're wanting to say we went to the beach and it was fun. So if you put the word it in there, you can either count that as sentence fluency or you can count it as a word choice. Not word choice. You can count it as sentence fluency. You can count it as voice because it's something that doesn't work in English when you do it like that. Or you can also count it as a convention error. So you can kind of move these things around a little bit. Let's see. Put in short sentences with long ones. If you don't have any other problem with sentence fluency, the one thing you can do is put in like a 2 or 3 word sentence next to a longer sentence and make sure you put a number 5 to show me that you know what you're doing, that you're doing a sentence fluency thing. Okay? And that is not an error. That's just a style thing. And so that goes with what I'm saying already, that not all revisions have to do with errors. They might have to do with style changes. They might have to do with adding things. Okay? Convention errors include fixing spelling, punctuation, grammar, especially subject-verb agreement, since we did that last quarter, and commas is another big one. Here, everyone thinks he's smart. There needs to be an S there, and so I put the S up there and put a little caret. That little pointy thing is a caret. It's pointing at what you need to add. And then I put a little number 6 there to show that this is a convention revision. So you should have at least 6 things. If you find 6 things, again, you get 6 points out of possible 5, right? I mean, it's a possible 6, but I'm going to count it as a bonus if you can find all 6 of those things. Even if you, I'm going to say this, even if you find 1, 2, 4, 5, and 2 number 6s, I'll still count it. But I'll only do that one time. So if you put a lot of 6s, I'll only count 1 or 2 of them, okay? As part of your revision grade. You should correct any error that you find in your paper and do anything that can make it better for your final draft, even if it doesn't count as part of the revision grade, because it actually helps you get to your final draft. So, put the revisions under the revision grade. Looks like this. Remember I said that? And do not put the final draft under the revisions grade. The final draft will go under its own assignment. If you do not put it under the final draft, I will not grade it. So you need to do that. Also, you should know, again, I keep telling people this, but not many people take advantage of it. Any part of a writing assignment, pre-writing, rough draft, revisions, final draft, If you have an idea of a way that you could maybe get 1 or 2 more points on it, you maybe on your final draft you think that you could do better and you redo it, resubmit it, you could get more points. Okay. So please pay attention to any comments that I write, especially comments that I write on your rough draft. When you go to do your revisions and final draft, it could help you. Once in a while, I decide I'm going to do some revisions on somebody's paper. Look and see if I did that. I might have done that on your paper. I think I did Anais' paper last time. So you never know. I've done Andre's paper before. So you never know. I might actually help you with making some revisions. You can always ask questions via the comment section. You can always WhatsApp me. I'll get to you as soon as I can in either one of those cases. Communicate. Take advantage of all of the resources. Communicate with me. Those are your best chances for getting good grades, okay? Happy writing!